Have you ever wondered? A ripe pimple forms a big yellow-white pus bump. So, can you pop this pus bump or not? If you don't pop it, where does that big blob of pus eventually go? To figure this out, we must know what the pus inside a pimple is. This is your skin. The surface is covered in hair and pores. Beneath every pore hides a follicle and a gland. Normally, the sebaceous gland quietly secretes sebum. The sebum climbs up the follicle duct to the skin surface, forming a protective film to keep your skin moisturized. But if you produce too much sebum in keratin, the pore easily gets clogged. Unable to escape, the sebum bulges into a small bump on the skin. This is a closed comedone known as a whitehead. If the quag isn't sealed, exposed sebum gets oxidized and turns into a blackhead. Once clogged, the follicle lacks oxygen. This is exactly what C. acnes bacteria love to see. They start multiplying and metabolizing like crazy. Tons of metabolites irritate surrounding tissue. The body has to send out cells to stop them, so a fierce battle breaks out deep in the follicle, causing inflammation, and a red papule pops up on the skin's surface. When it's over, dead cells, bacteria, dead skin, and sebum pool into pus. That creates the yellow-white pus bump you see. The question is, if you don't pop it, where does the pus inside the bump go? 3 possibilities. 1. Your body eats it. If the pimple's inflammation is mild and it's quite small, after white cells win. An immune cell called a macrophage enters the scene. They clean up pathogens and dead cells. They swallow up the dead remains bite by bite, then flush them out through the lymphatic system. During this process, the pimple slowly shrinks and the redness gradually fades. 2. It naturally bursts and drains. As pus builds up, pressure inside the follicle builds. One day, you gently wipe it while washing your face, and the pus bump is rubbed open. So the pus oozes out bit by bit, inflammation subsides, and the pimple heals. 3. It forms a cyst. If the plug is jammed too tight and pus has no way out, it might break through the follicle wall and backflow into the dermis. This is the scariest scenario. On the surface, it looks gone, but that garbage never left. Instead, it rooted deeper into the skin, turning into a hard cyst. So what do? Is it better to just pop the pus bump? Of course not. Popping it shoves bacteria deep into the follicle. At best, it worsens infection and triggers pimples. At worst, it damages dermis and leaves scars. If you pop in the danger triangle, it could trigger a brain infection. It's truly a Pyrrhic victory. We might as well play it safe. Eliminate the real culprit, blocking the pore before the pus bump even forms. Many acne products use salicylic acid because it's lipophilic. Once it hits the skin surface, it easily dissolves the sebum mixture, clogging the pore. Then it drills deep into the follicle, dissolving deep-seated oil and old keratin, tackling closed comedone and blackheads right from the source. But it has a bug. Its pH is too low to put directly on your face. Traditional products add an alkaline neutralizer to raise pH, but this clearly leads to a catch-22. Because salicylic acid needs a pH around 3.0 to stay in a free, highly active state. No base. Face can't handle it. Add a base and its activity drops. Luckily, the Broda mask gives a perfect answer. It uses supramolecular tech, embedding salicylic acid into a gel net. So when applied, it doesn't wildly charge into your skin like traditional salicylic acid. Instead, it uses body heat to slowly release over 8 to 12 hours. Irritation is reduced. No need to add a neutralizer, and it keeps high activity. Also, some folks feel their face gets tight and dry after using acids. Maybe the acid concentration was too high. Once concentration is too high, new keratin generation can't keep up. Your skin will get thinner. This Broda mask uses low concentration acid. It doesn't just strip keratin. It metabolizes old keratin while giving ample time to generate new keratin, achieving two-way regulation, building a stable barrier. The key is 0 nasties. In a formula with 8 items, it added 2 major skin-nourishing ingredients. Oily skin doesn't fear getting drier. Sensitive skin can use it. It handles problematic skin. Alright, back to the topic. We learned the 3 destinations of unpopped pus, but many have a bigger question. When a pimple fades, why does it relapse in the same spot within 2 weeks? Maybe abnormal sebum and keratin metabolism weren't corrected, or dormant bacteria and inflammation still hide in the follicle. On the surface, it looks gone, but once you pull an all-nighter, get stressed. Keratin metabolism acts up again, and sebum secretion increases. Those dormant bacteria become active all over again, and the pimple makes a comeback. But don't worry too much. For those returning pimples, you can still use products like the Broda Salicylic Acid Mask to regulate keratin, making pimples harder to pop out. But you also need to maintain good lifestyle and dietary habits. Sleep more and control sugar, only when hormones are normal and sebum doesn't run wild. Can you avoid breakouts from the root? Link is in the pinned comment. Check it out if you need it. If you miss the window and develop cysts and nodules, then consulting a doctor is probably your best bet.